Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Nefarious Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about water. The water element. Now, as far as the water element, now this motherfucker want to be a part of everything. But at the same time, there's a duality to that. You know what I'm saying? Because even though when you just look at water itself, as me just talking about the energy as water just wanting to be a part of everything, at the same time, when it plays out the humans in realms of realities mixed up of all the elements, it may play out in situations where you just want to blend in. And that can play out in two ways, because a person may want to blend in with their environment, or a person may want to blend in away and camouflage themselves. You see what I'm saying? Therefore that'll be the certain water signs that don't like to be in the mix. They camouflage themselves and they just, you don't see them. So it plays out in their life as certain water signs, you may not see them. They may stay in the house. They may not go out. They may not be showboaty. They may be more concerned with home, family, and taking care of things and things of that nature. But at the same time, it can play out in a lot of other ways where water signs who want to blend in, so they absorb the vibrations of the environment that they're in. So they figure out that the way they may have to blend in instead of camouflaging, these are the outgoing water signs, the ones who feel like they have to do things like that and blend in with the illusion or the light that's being absorbed and being soaked in, because water holds memory. Just like fire is the spirit, water is the soul. You see what I'm saying? So fire is what you can, it shows the light on what you can see, so what you can see in the dark, and water is like, gives you the feeling on what you can feel in the dark. You see what I'm saying? Because water is clear. You see what I'm saying? Water takes shape, form, and color of whatever it is. So people get confused with this concept of light. And when we say light and dark, you can correlate it to the energies of fire and water. But just because that's just how it looked relative to where you're at, based upon your location in space. So how things relate to here, that's me how it appear to be to you, based upon what vessel you in, what experience you in, what realm of illusion you in, what intellectual beings run certain properties and energies and vibrations and things. So a lot of times that's why things in density may appear a certain way, but fire don't look like that. You know what I'm saying? Fire look more like electricity. Water don't look like that. Water is more of a illusion. Water is more like a mist. Water is more like it's like it's a vibration. Like, you ever seen somebody on a deathbed, they about to die, say they still alive. That's the frequency line. If they still alive, the frequency line is vibrating. Boom. That's actually what water look like. That's what water ain't even water, is fluid, and fluid ain't even fluid. It's vibration. You know what I'm saying? It's movement. It's the act of, for you to be able to move in a realm of illusion in the first place, and for you to see that you're in a realm of illusion in the first place is because of the fire. For you to understand and gain information from it is because of the air. For you to be able to see it, physically hold it, see the energy of it, is because of the earth. But you know, when you talk about water absorbs. So a lot of times it's the emotions and the feelings. So like how fire is the seer and the feelings, water is also right brain. It's the emotions and the feelings. So when fire likes to see the feelings, which create visions and intuition, water like to soak in the feelings, which create psyche and create imagination. You see what I'm saying? So what happens here is you're not even trying to see your feelings to have a vision to express it. You're trying to soak in your feelings to see the emotional stance and see what is this realm of reality. And when we talk about water connects everything. So if water is part of the realm of reality, light is part of and fire is part of the illusion in the realm of reality. See, when they both come together, it creates roundness. It creates an orb, steam, and that's, things could cool off air wise. People could get the information from it, and things could be experienced enough to be brought into density like earth. But when we talk about water and dealing with the soaking in the emotions, a lot of times is not even trying to see it. So when it plays out through humans, a lot of times a water sign may not try to see things the way you try to see it, because it's not even seeing. It's double yin. It's double yin. You see what I'm saying? So it's not even trying to see it. It's trying to feel it and seeing if it can connect. And if it can't connect, that's how it's going to vibrate. So anytime you try to say too many words or show too many expressions, you see what I'm saying, or show too many things, aka fire, air, and earth, the water is going to sit back and be like, okay, what's the connection with this? And if it's something that they can connect to, then they will connect to it. But if it's something that they can't, they can't. And a lot of times it may be hard. Every element play within each other in different ways. Now, water holds memory. You see what I'm saying? So water is going to hold certain lights. Water is going to hold certain air. Water is going to hold certain particles, aka fire, air, and earth. You see what I'm saying? So water can kind of do a little bit of everything. You see what I'm saying? When water catch a lot of light, that means water could be wise and just as spirited as fire. You see what I'm saying? And then when water start to heat up, water could transform too. So when water gets too cold, it gets frozen. When it starts to heat up, it transforms. So a lot of times a water sign may need a fire sign to help them transform their ideas and creativity sometimes. But for the most part, or how they see things at times, but for the most part, this is what makes water highly intelligent, but receptive at the same time. But can be opposing also. You see what I'm saying? So when it's dealing with the fire, water can show, aka the soul, can show the spirit also. You know what I'm saying? Because it receives light, right? And it can heat up also from the heat and the light from the fire. So this means water signs can get aggressive too. You know what I'm saying? Water signs can get negative too. Water signs can get can have hatred too. You know what I'm saying? And it can go deep. You know what I'm saying? The boil, it can go deep to it burn all the way out. You know what I'm saying? To the point that the water evaporate. You know what I'm saying? The fire can't even stay in this realm of reality, but the water can evaporate but come back. It goes so far back. It goes so far up. It's in space too, but it come back. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like it keeps the roundness. It holds the memory. So it got memory of wisdom, shit, things of that nature too. Water, boom. It holds okay, H2O. You know what I'm saying? So bubbles and shit in the water and shit like that is H2. It's air and water. So water signs are smart too. They're informative too. They know how to communicate, you know what I'm saying, when it's needed. They may not always know how to put it in words, right? But they know what you're saying. They just may see it they may understand it from a whole different way, because they're not seeing it the way it's coming. It's coming. Anytime you give off energy, you're giving off light. Water is receptive to light. So yeah, you may think you got this certain expression that the water gonna see, but the water really don't see it like the way you think they see it, because they're trying to feel it. And depending on how bright that light is, that's how much heat that the water gonna pick up. And that's how the water is able to feel fire signs. Anytime a fire sign is too superficial, too surface level, that light is too dense. So a water sign can't feel that fire. You know what I'm saying? It can only see it a little bit, and the water already not seeing. It's trying to feel and connect, and it can't connect. And fire already try to detach. So that's how fire and water signs will come together, and it won't be right. But how they come together is the fire sign got to make sure it's actually showing it's superficial. It's actually showing enough energy that light can become bright enough that it got heat packed with that light. So when the water pick it up, it see it, but it actually feel it too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, and now it can start to understand it a little better. Now, with the air, it's H2O. It's air and water. So they communicative. They know how to talk. Also, they know words. They know how to put it in. They may have to express it through some type of creative ability, but they know how to utilize that shit also. And earth, water takes shape and form of everything that is in, of a cup, of a pool. You know what I'm saying? Of the land, the ocean. It's gonna take shape and form. So, however, you know what I'm saying, durability or stability or reserve or conservative or earth sign may be, a water sign know how to play that role also. know how to take that shape and form also. You know what I'm saying? Know how to get things done also. A lot of times it may be a little bit hard to stand keeping a foundation and keep it sturdy at times, aka, you know what I'm saying, water just has to move sometimes. It can't just be still water at times, because it's gonna be very Scorpio like water. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you want to separate all three waters. You got like Pisces is the ocean, like just going with the flow. Subtle water, subtle waves. You know what I'm saying? Everything is one. You know what I'm saying? Scorpio is drugged down, something in the water, drugged down in the deep end. So it's deep where you can't even see, can't go with the flow, can't go with nothing. Or it's a piece of ice, or look, it's its own secluded ice, its own fixed piece with the collective. All fixed signs has their own piece in the collective. That's like Aquarius would be like an air balloon. You know what I'm saying? Water would be like Scorpio, the ice cube. Leo would be like the fire, the campfire. You know what I'm saying? Or the stove. You see what I'm saying? Now when we talk about hold on, did I miss one? I said earth, water. But it's about water right now. Fuck all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But earth is stable, so Taurus would be like a building. You see what I'm saying? Capricorn would be like the archetype of it draw the blueprint of the building. Taurus would be like the motherfucking the building being built, the building itself, and Virgo would be like analyzing and criticizing, seeing the structure of the building is right for everybody, it's perfect enough for everybody to get things going on in that building. So for the most part, when we want to talk about water relating to these things, it takes shape and form of all those things, and it hold memory. So it's going to remember. So a lot of times when you talk about water signs, they may play out as people who like to bring up old things a lot of times, or like to talk about memories, or clinged on to old things, or old people, places, and things that's going on, and they hold on to things. So a lot of times water signs could hold on to grudges and things of that nature. And especially with Scorpios, you know what I'm saying? Pisces kind of can melt a little bit better because it goes with the flow. So a lot of time a Scorpio need a Pisces, because that's like an ice cube, throwing an ice cube in some water that just got a flow to it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times Scorpios and Cancers could clash, because Cancers is like a wave. It's the spark. It's cardinal. So it's like the same way how Aries is the electricity. Cardinal will be like the ocean waves. You know what I'm saying? Like the hazardous wave, that a new usher in of water just coming in and take over a land and become a river or something like that. So that's like forcing the ice to melt. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you try to force ice to melt too fast, it's like hold on. You're getting too close too fast. Chill out. You know what I'm saying? Where Pisces come in and know how to melt the ice slowly, but just enough to relax the Scorpio vulnerability. You know what I'm saying? And Scorpios also could use Aries, because Aries is like the electricity spark. So it could spark them, the initial heat for them to start to transform. You know what I'm saying? So it don't like to play around with the fixed fire, just too hot, because that something that's sitting there too hot. That's when Leos and Scorpios will clash, because that's just like a campfire. It's too hot. It's either I'm gonna burn you out because I'm gonna sit here and burn, or you. And I'm gonna put your ass off, burn you out, exhaust your ass into steam, or your ass is just gonna put me out and wash me out and put my fire out. But either or, that's how the fuck it's gonna be. So you know, it's a square between each other. Sagittarius is like yeah, it's here and there, because it's like light heat. So it's like yeah, I get it, I get what you're trying to say, I understand, whatever. I can melt. It can kind of melt slowly with Sagittarius too after it's the time, but really like. That's just different dynamics with the elements. But as far as with the water, you know, water could transform into every different thing, and it holds memory, so it's holding into everything. So you know what I'm saying? Water signs, it's not too much you getting past water signs, because they end again, bro. You know what I'm saying? But water itself, water is caring. You know what I'm saying? Water cares. You know what I'm saying? Because water likes to connect. Water likes to connect, and a lot of time, water is like it's like the emotions you soak in it, so it makes you psychic, because you're soaking in a realm of reality. And if you've been through a lot of realm of realities, aka experiences, right, then you'll be able to understand something more than others without even having to experience it, because you could just pick up their experience. Because if you water, it's connecting, and when someone else is going through a bunch of experiences, it just is in their vibration, their soul. So this is why water signs are psyche. They can pick that up. right? And be able to create songs or create imaginations and things in their head around why a person is in the circumstances that they is. Like, they understand the emotions and feelings of things, and they can just be around a person like, I don't know, they can't see it because it's not seeing. It's water. Water is clear. So it's like, dang, I can't see why this person being that way, but I just know something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? That's where water signs get that into. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? When the water is around a motherfucking fire sign, you just gotta make sure y'all sharing each other energies, y'all sharing each other feelings, and one is not trying to throw too much emotions, and one is not trying to show too much of how to see things. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where y'all could clash. So that could become a burnout or exhaustion. But how they could become a nice warm steam bath or steam exhaust room or something like that. So something that's like steam every day. When you walk outside, breathe air. That's from the correlation of fire and water, nigga. That ain't really got nothing to do with air. You know what I'm saying? Air is lucky, you know what I'm saying, to be part of that. But that's a different fucking that's another video. But for the most part, yeah, when you want to talk about clashing and shit, y'all gotta make sure, because y'all both yin realms, so y'all both share the feelings. It's just one has the emotions and the feelings, and one has the seeing and the feelings. So long as one is not throwing too much emotion around, and one not throwing too many ways of how they see things around, then shit, y'all can get along, y'all can feel together, motherfucker. Shit, had utmost passion. Water with air signs, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure air signs, y'all ain't fucking make sure you ain't letting them talk around too much, throw too many words around and things like that, because they could talk you into things, make you feel a certain way, make the water move a certain way by the air, and then a lot of times it could cause a tornado. So we don't need things to be cause a tornado. So water signs, be a little bit more receptive to the words that you're actually receiving, and don't let every word, aka every air, wind, blow you wherever they can blow you. Like, don't let them control you with your words and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Get into your own emotional world to the point that words won't hurt you. You see what I'm saying? By these sharp-tongued motherfuckers. And when you're around earth signs, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they could be your stability, you know what I'm saying? Y'all could be each other crutch. You could show them the emotional ways of things, and they could show you the practical reality of things. But for the most part, you gotta make sure you just not over consuming everything, because when they say when water sit in one place too long, though, it start to deteriorate. The shit is on, so you'll deteriorate that earth motherfucker. The earth motherfucker want to move eventually. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll start getting deteriorated just with you being hovering over it all day, smothering it. So try not to smother an earth sign or whatever like that, or get too clingy or get too attached to the benefits that they have based upon their qualities of being in reality. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, earth signs, just be a foundation, be sturdy. But anytime you may got cracks and wounds, sometimes you may got seep-throughs, sometimes that the water may seep through and hit you where it hurt a lot of times. But make sure just keep it firm and keep a foundation. Flake boss, bitch, goddamn, that's the water element.